Recently, I took my wife for a semi-impulsive trip. I'd like to say it came from throwing a dart at a map, finger on a spinning globe, or just a random hat pull. In truth, there was more intention than that, but not by much. So let the tale of trains, planes, automobiles, and boats begin as we journey to Uruguay. The train took us from West Palm Beach to Miami. Once in Miami, we flew to Lima, Peru for a short layover. After which, we took a flight overnight and landed in Montevideo, Uruguay. Uruguay, or as it's officially known, the Oriental Republic of Uruguay, shares its borders with Brazil and Argentina. I think Uruguay is often forgotten about because of the sheer size of its neighbors. Brazil has a population of over 200 million, and Argentina has 45. Uruguay has a mere 3 million, half of whom reside in its capital, Montevideo. And Montevideo is where we stay for the majority of our trip. One of the first places we explored was the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Park. I found an article in the New York Times dating back to 1948. It writes of a memorial park being created for the U.S. President. The parents housed in the sprawling eucalyptus trees were a treat. We stayed in the oldest part of the city, and I loved the old buildings, the walkable streets, and especially the food.
Brave Dachshund.
One morning we were there, I spotted a dachshund and had to grab a video. Traveling thousands of miles, I had to film a random dog I spotted. Guess I just missed mine.
All right.
We celebrated my wife's birthday and the whole restaurant joined in. We also went to the Torres Garcia Art Museum and checked out his Cubist paintings and drawings. Again, one of the many highlights of the trip was certainly the food. It was marvelous, outstanding, full of meat and goodness. This is a country where the popular dish is a chivato. It is a sandwich that is built on a beefsteak and topped with cheese, ham, bacon, tomatoes, and egg. There was not a single meal that disappointed us. After a few days in Montevideo, we took a bus to Colonia del Sacramento. The landscape changed from a bustling metropolis to a rural green, filled with sheep, cows, horses, and dotted with sporadic houses. Colonia del Sacramento is located just over 100 miles west of the capital, and there we boarded a ferry. Taking the ferry to Buenos Aires, Argentina, took us just over an hour. We spent only the evening and next afternoon in Buenos Aires. In hindsight, I wish I had planned more time there. In my planning for this trip, I saw that it was one of the biggest metros in the Americas. I thought being surrounded by 15 million people would not be my cup of tea. Exploring the city made me want to give it more time. I saw a glimpse of its subway system. It offered gardens that held great works of statues. We visited the Japanese gardens there. The museums were breathtaking. and I was even able to put my eyes on my second Van Gogh painting. The next day, we boarded the ferry and returned to Uruguay. We spent the night and the next day walking Colonia de Sacramento. This is a World Heritage Site, which translates into, this is a really old place. The Portuguese settled here in the 1600s. It was very peaceful here, and I could definitely see myself coming back. We turned to the capital and spent the last couple of days staying by the Atlantic, listening to the waves rhythmically wet the shore. Montevideo has an avenue for bicyclists and pedestrians that runs just over 13 miles along the coastline, called the Rambla. We spent 10 days exploring and left with smiles on our faces. The people were kind, the food was outstanding, and the culture and arts were filled with a sense of life. If I ever find myself back in that area, I would love to spend more time in the rural sections. If you have any questions about traveling to Uruguay, while my knowledge is limited, I'd be happy to give you my opinion. If you've ever traveled there, I'd love for you to comment. Subscribe, like, and rewatch the video multiple times. And again, thank you for watching.